Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be going over, are homeschoolers weird? Are they socially awkward? I don't know. Grab a cup of coffee and let's find out. One of my very first concerns when we first started homeschooling was how were we going to socialize the kids? And I think that that's such a normal concern, especially if you didn't grow up around homeschooling or you weren't homeschooled or you don't know very many homeschoolers. I mean, it's a normal concern. And I think as seasoned moms, sometimes even though that was one of my very first concerns, it does get annoying when people think like you don't socialize your kids and there's no way for them to make friends. But once you start, you see how large the homeschooling community is. You learn about co-ops, which is a group of parents getting together, either as a social co-op where you can make friends and get together and build community and just do life with each other. Or there's another type of homeschooling co-op where one parent will teach math and another parent may teach science, one parent may teach public speaking and all of these other various subjects that are taught. And you all just kind of pull your resources and encourage one another, and the kids get to basically bounce around to different classes. And they get to make friends there. And not only that, but there are extracurricular activities. There are sports and music and kung fu and all of these different things that you can add your kids to. There's Bible studies and Awanas and meeting other homeschooling families who have kids around your same ages that you guys can get together and do play dates with. And it's so funny because that was one of my biggest concerns, and as we've been homeschooling for the last year and a half, I've realized what a silly concern that was, because if anything, it feels like our calendar is just so full that I really need to sit down and pray about what all do we want to be in? What all do we want to exert our energy in? What do we want to pour our resources into? What do we want pouring into us? And by the time you sit down and you really think about all of the things that you want to add into your schedule, you realize that socialization is one of your least concerns. If anything, I'm more concerned about how am I going to teach, Addie how her numbers, it feels like right now we're going through her numbers because she already knows her ABCs. We spent the last year really building a strong foundation of the phonics of it. And this year we're working in the numbers. And her default is 10. Like, I could show her 6. She could learn 6 all week long. And by the end of the week, when she should really know the number 6, like she's written it, she's said it, she's seen flashcards, and she's like 6. I show it to her at the end of the week and she's like 10. My main concern is just teaching them and to make sure that they're really grasping concepts. And it's funny because the kids were in Kung Fu last year, and during their promotion ceremony, I remember the Kung Fu teacher looking back, because it was a group of homeschooled kids within his class, and they were all sitting really quietly and listening as he was giving his speech to the parents. And he said, you guys are doing something really great with these kids, because if these were any of my other classes that were filled with public school kids, sorry you guys, baby's making loud noises. It's like if this was filled with my public school kids, I would have had to turn around multiple times and remind them to sit quietly and to listen and to be respectful. So you guys are doing really great. And I just kind of sat in that moment for a while thinking, you know what, be weird. Okay, we follow Dave Ramsey, and I don't know if you guys know who he is, but if you don't, check him out because he's awesome. And he gives a lot of really great financial advice. And one of the comments that he always makes is, why be normal? Normal's broke. Normal is in debt. And when it comes to homeschooling, I think, why be normal? Normal isn't working. And at least for me, like I don't have anything bad against public schoolers or or teachers. I think that teachers are amazing. I mean, it's hard enough for me to teach 2 kids, and granted they are 2 different age or grade levels, but it's difficult and it's challenging, and I can only imagine what it's like for public school teachers who are teaching 20 to 30 kids at the same time, and all those different personalities and emotions and where they're coming at from their homes, and it's just, you know, it's crazy all that they do. So I really do have a lot of respect for teachers. So please do not take this as any way, shape, or form that I am saying anything bad about teachers or public school kids, but there is something to be said about homeschoolers, and from my experience in the different co-ops that we've been in and the different groups, they usually are better mannered. So I suggest doing the weird thing. Don't be normal. Do the weird thing. Have well-mannered kids. Have good-hearted kids. Have kind kids. You know, if your family is sitting there telling you, oh, are you worried about socialization? Instead of, hey, can I bring you a casserole because you're teaching all day and I'm sure by the time you get to the end of the day, you're too tired to cook. Or, hey, I get that you're teaching all day. Is there a way that I can serve you? Is there a way that, you know, I can babysit your kids for you sometime? Then you tell those family members, you know what, thank you for your concern, but that's literally the least of my worries, because Mama, I promise you, socialization will be the least of your worries. You're going to be worried about how to teach 2 older kids when you got a cute chunky baby constantly getting into things. And if you're a seasoned mama and you're tired of hearing these questions, I totally get it, but it's our job to pave the way for the homeschoolers that'll come after us, and to just keep teaching them that there's nothing wrong with homeschooling. Just because we're homeschooling doesn't mean that we stay at home. It doesn't mean that we never leave, you know, the 4 walls of our little existence. If anything, I think my kids go on more field trips and exploration adventures now than they did when they were actually in school, which is kind of fun. So if you guys like this video, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to give us a big thumbs up and hit that red subscribe button. Bye!